Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Walker, and today my guest is Kelly McCart from McCart's Auto Center. And we have a great topic to talk about today. I'm excited to have Kelly with us. But first, let me take a second to thank our sponsors. ShopBoss is software built by shop owners for shop owners. ShopBoss offers real solutions backed by real experience. Simply put, it's shop management software that works your way. When customers are in the lobby and cars are on the lift, you don't have time for a learning curve. That's where ShopBoss comes in, with profit-boosting features that work the way you need them to right out of the box. From built-in DVI to robust customizable reporting, ShopBoss makes everything about running a shop work more smoothly. Plus, with their Boss Pay Payments feature powered by 360 Payments, you can enter the era of totally paperless payments. From text to pay, remote payments, and consumer financing options, to compliance, surcharging, and now even offering PayPal and Venmo options. Everything is built right into ShopBoss. Plus, everything is backed by a fantastic support team with one goal in mind: your success. Be the boss with ShopBoss. Independent auto repair shops, get ready to transform your business with AppFueled. It's time for your professional auto service shop to have its own customer loyalty app. AppFueled will build an app that launches a custom loyalty program for your shop in 30 days or less, fully integrated with your point of sale system. Bring Fortune 500 level customer retention strategies to your business without the Fortune 500 budget. Many shops are enjoying the benefits. Our app engages your customers with a loyalty ladder, enticing them to climb the next rung, coming back more often and spending more each visit, all with your own app. Build loyalty with your customers to your brand and boost your shop's growth. Get your first app in 30 days or less, all without breaking the bank. Ready to start? Let AppFueled take your business to the next level. Go to appfueled.com or meet founder Jeremy Glasgow and book your complimentary app vision session at appfueled.com/Jeremy. That's appfueled.com/Jeremy. Well, hey, Kelly, it's great to have you with me today.
Hey, Brian. Thanks for the invite.
I've talked about you and your shop, I've talked about your shop because I really didn't know you on the podcast before, and I think I've even mentioned it in some blogs because of a article that I read some years back, around I think 2021, if I'm not mistaken, in Ratchet and Wrench, about this incredible makeover that you did on your shop. And we talk all things marketing, and a lot of people don't really think about the aesthetics of their shop being marketing, but I have a feeling that you would probably argue with them.
Yes, I would, for sure. Made quite the difference for us.
Yeah, I want to start by I'm gonna read a little excerpt from the article because I think it'll set the tone for what we're going to talk about today. It says, back in 2018, McCart's Auto Center in Conyers, Georgia, was a blur in the background as a decidedly nondescript tan structure next to a series of other tan nondescript businesses. Nothing about McCart's stood out. We just kept hearing, "Oh, I've been passing by here for years and never noticed you," says owner Kelly McCart. Even when we got referrals in the door, they'd be surprised. We were fully blending in.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I guess, what brought this whole thing upon.
Yeah, that was it was eye-opening for sure when people would say, "Oh, I passed by here and never realized this was a shop." Even though there's signs on the building, but there was just nothing to distinguish us from anything else along the street.
So was there like any exact moment where you were just like, I've got to change this?
So I had been wanting to do it for years. And for a long time, I rented the building. And so there was, you're limited on what you want to put into somebody else's space. But then I had the opportunity to buy the building. So it was kind of it was a long time project coming. Something I wanted to do for a while. But I'm a thinker. I don't just pull the trigger, do something fast. So this was a process that literally probably had 18 months living in my head. Went through several different scenarios. And then this is the one that I landed on. So,
and according to the article, you did all the design and everything yourself.
I did. I have a nephew that is a graphic artist design person, and he was a tremendous help for sure. But he was able to take the vision that I had in my head and actually put it on paper. Um, I sent you a couple of pictures. I don't know if you received them or
Yep.
not, but um, there's three photos that I sent you. One shows the building in the back and a background of a picture. That's what it looked like in the early 2000s. I had the bright idea to paint the building
Mhm.
red, to just try to draw attention, and that worked. But man, was it an eyesore! Looking back now, I'm like, I can't believe I even did that. Um, but it it worked a little while, but then I decided to paint the building more of a neutral color to try to make it more inviting, a little bit less. I don't know. I don't know what the red. I don't know what the red made me feel, but after years, I was like, "This is a terrible idea. I got to get rid of it." So that's when it went to the tan color. But then, still over time, people saying, we didn't know this was even here. So that's when I decided, all right, I got to really start thinking about this, how I want to make it look. And the first idea that I had was like the housing industry was going at the time with the board and batten
Mhm.
type look, the smooth board with the small slats running north to south. Um, Come up with an idea to do that, and then like a 3 to 4 foot stacked stone, or maybe even brick, at the bottom of the wall out front. Had my nephew draw that up a couple times, and just that didn't fit right, didn't look right. So went back to the drawing board, and I sent you this photo as well. I literally took a picture of the building and found different things that I wanted on the building. And literally, when I say cut and paste, I'm not talking about on the computer. I mean, with scissors and Elmer's glue, cut and paste what I wanted this building to look like. Send it to my nephew. And then in another picture I sent you, there's a computer generated drawing of what he come
Mhm.
up with. And that's what I handed to the contractor and said, "Can you make this happen?" And he said, "Absolutely."
So for our listeners, I'll put this on our website, and you can go to well, this will be episode number 181, so you'll be able to go to shopmarketingpros.com/181, and you'll be able to see these pictures. So you got to go take a look at them, and I'll link over to the Ratchet and Wrench article also, which has some pictures of the final product and everything. So it really looks great, and the drawing very much does look like the building. The one that you did with the
Yeah.
cut and paste, I've kind of got a black and white scan of it, but what you're describing to me reminds me of like the movie with the serial killer that sends the letter with all the
And it's not just a black and white scan. That's what it
oh,
was. It was literally, I took a picture, printed it off my black and white printer, found stuff that I wanted on it, and there's some chicken scratch in the corner there. That's my handwriting telling my nephew how I want to do things, and he was able to produce that next picture out of that. So he gets a lot of credit. He's actually the one that came up with the design of our
mhm.
logo as well, the M. Um, I asked him to come up with something unique. And he generated about 7 or 8 different logos using the M as the focus. And I took several weeks, looking at those, and then put them away and come back a couple of days, look at them again, asked a few people that I trusted for their thoughts on it. And I always came back and landed on this one. So that's the one that.
So it kind of has the vibe of like a dashboard icon. Is that what y'all were going for with it?
Actually, no. Now that you say that, I
Hmm.
see it. But I just wanted something simple. Like you think about all of the, everything now. The logos are so
Hmm.
simple. Apple, for
Yep.
instance, Google, for instance, Starbucks. I mean, all your major brands. It's a simple logo. It's not
Yeah.
complicated, easily recognizable, and it must work because you stopped Gene at the trade show off of recognizing the
I
logo on
did.
his shirt. So
I did. It immediately caught
it's
my eye. I knew exactly what I was looking at when I
yeah,
saw it.
yeah. Gene was blown away when you walked up to him and asked him. I don't know the full conversation. I wasn't present, but he was blown away when you stopped him, and I think you said, "Is this the McCart's in Georgia?"
Yeah.
So
So you went from this business that just kind of blended in to something that really stands out. People that drove by for years that never saw you all of a sudden see this modern, chic looking building that goes from it could have been anything to, the signage and everything, making it very clear of y'all are an auto repair shop. What has that done for your business?
I can't hand you exact numbers, sadly, um, but just the amount of buzz that it
Mm.
created, the amount of people, not only customers love it, but the number of people that we've had several people that say, I drive by this area daily as a delivery driver for some other type business. They would just stop in, come in the door, and say, "Hey, man, just want to tell you this
Yeah.
building looks great." Like, I was blown away by the amount of people that were not coming here to do business that stopped in and said, just gave us a
Hmm.
compliment on it. And several of them want to know, is this the same
Yeah.
business? Is this new? Is this place new? And of course, we get to tell them, no, this is just a remodel and rebranding and doing all that at one time. So um, it definitely has paid
Did
off.
it have any
Um,
impact on like the quality of the clients that walk in the door and average repair order, things like that?
oh yes, definitely, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, and it's nice to be recognized around town too. You walk in the bank and somebody says, "Oh, I know where you're from. That's the building with the green
Hmm.
M on it." You know, so that's a good. You get to lead into talking to people out in the public, and introducing yourselves, who you are, and invite them to your
Yeah.
business. So,
Now y'all did a lot more than just an exterior renovation. Tell us about the inside of it.
um, fully revamped the interior, repainting, flooring, um, you know, changed the colors over there. So it's completely redone on the inside. They posted the logo right behind the counter. Um, yeah, so it was inside out
Yeah.
for sure.
Anything in the shop area itself?
No, not during that. But since then, we have had to buy some more equipment, add some more
Hmm.
employees to. I was trying to think last night. At the time, I think we were at 5 employees, and now we're 10 full time, a couple part time. So pretty much doubled in staff since that time period.
Now you also changed the name of the business around this time, also, right?
Yeah. So if you, um, even in that picture that I sent with the red building, and if you um, look at the tan building in the article, you'll see there's two signs. One says McCart's Auto Sales, and one says McCart's
Hmm.
Pro Auto. And a good friend of mine that's in the car business, he works for new car dealerships. He's been general manager at a couple different new car dealerships. He was helping me early on with social media marketing and things like that, just as a friend. And he was telling me all along, he said, "You're confusing the public because you got two signs on the building, but you got one
Yeah.
door. It's one place." He said, "But you're trying to manage two different social media accounts, trying to keep it separate." And in my mind, it's two businesses. I run them as two separate businesses. He's like, "But the public doesn't. That doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything to them. They don't care how it's run on the books. It's one place to them. McCart's is one place." So I fought him on it for a long time, and then finally, when we did this, I said, "All right, I'm gonna do a name change. I'm gonna do a DBA." So I brought both businesses are incorporated. So I brought both of them in under the DBA. Did all the back paperwork, for the legal filings and everything like that. So it is recognized. Had to change state used car license under the DBA. That was a task, but we got that done. So yeah, and then created just one social media right out of the gate with it. At the same time we did the remodel, we hired a marketing company to do the social media, the SEO, the online presence, revamp the website. I mean, the whole 9 yards. We did all that. One time merged the two websites together, had two separate websites going into that. We were able to merge those together. And that company really did a good job right off the bat. Man, they just really started firing our social media and moving us up on Google. And we still see around 20 to 25 new customers
Yeah.
a month off of what they do, of what they did. So, and I would say in that. So let me back up. When we finished this, it's kind of a timely recording here because we finished the project the week before
Hmm.
Thanksgiving in 2019.
Oh, so you were right before COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know
Oh,
where I'm
yeah.
going with that. So here we roll into the new year, just getting everything, everything's new and pretty. And somebody mentions this little thing about COVID. So by March and April, I'm like, what have I done? Why did I spend this money
Hmm.
now? So I was getting tight fist on everything and not spending any more money right now. Everybody was that way, just you're clenching your fist, holding on to what you got and hoping that you're going to be able to make it through. So, but we did. And for as well as I do, I'm sure the automotive industry was one of the industries that thrived during.
It did. And it still, in a way, doesn't necessarily make sense to me. There's ways where it does, where it's like, okay, people were not flying anywhere, so they were driving to take trips and that sort of thing. But at the same time, a lot of people are, I mean, most people are staying home to work now. They're not driving as much, but the automotive industry just seemed to do really well through it.
Yeah, and like I said, I was clenching my fist, holding everything I had, but these people were turning loose some money, and that's what I couldn't wrap
Yeah.
my head around. Um, I never took a single day off
Hmm.
during COVID. I worked every single
Yeah.
day. Now there was a time period, you know, during the shutdowns. Of course, we were essential, but during that, people did get a little scared. There was I don't know, 4 to 6 week
Yeah.
period where things got a little tight. I think that was probably across the
Yep.
board. And then one day it was just like, it's like somebody was, had a gate closed at the end of the street and all of a sudden they let it open and here they
Yeah.
come. And it hadn't stopped since.
It wasn't very different for us. We shifted from being a generalist agency to specializing in auto repair at the end of 2019, and we were at Vision uh, in March of 2020 or 2020 when everything's coming on the news saying there's going to be a shutdown, and I remember so my wife's mom had called her and was kind of freaking out about it, saying, oh, they're going to make us wear masks. They're going to make us stay at home. And Kim was like, Mom, this is the United States. They're not doing that. And sure enough, it happened. But, the industry thrived through it. And it's honestly the thing that built Shop Marketing Pros. So I don't know, crazy little side note there. Um, so you, when you did this, I mean, it was this was not just an exterior, you know, refresh. You went with, I mean, new name, interior, exterior, online presence, everything, which is the way that when you're doing a rebrand, it really should be done. Was there anything when you did this that kind of surprised you that you didn't think you were going to need to do and kind of caught you along the way of, oh, we're going to have to do this also?
Um, no, like I said, I'm
Yeah.
a thinker. So I had many, many, many conversations leading up to, you know, finally pulling the trigger
Hmm.
on this. Like I said, my nephew had been working on all the design work for a while. I had been in talks with the advertising company, that marketing company that I chose. I had been in talks with them for a while, and so when we finally did it, honestly, we had pretty much everything
Mhm.
covered. I feel like we did a good
Yeah.
job.
So I know the numbers, and I'm not looking for actual numbers here, just kind of a a overall idea. Uh, it's a bit skewed because of COVID happening and the fact that the industry did thrive through it, but you did have a bit of a bit of time between this rebrand being done and before COVID started. How long was it before you really started seeing results from this where you just knew we did the right thing?
Well, I think that was immediate. I mean, even before the end of February when COVID was first being mentioned, I I think I knew in January before that this was the right
Yeah.
thing to do. You know, I mean, if nothing else, I was super
Hmm.
proud of it. You know, just pulling in the parking lot every
Yeah.
morning. It put a smile
Yep.
on my face. Um, and then to think back of what it looked like for so long.
So how did your staff respond to all this?
Oh, they
Yeah.
loved it. They loved it. You know, we provide them with a lot of logoed clothing, a lot of hats, a lot of shirts, a lot of sweatshirts. We have a lot of different, you know, things that we hand out to customers. Um, Koozies. We even have a nice little
Ah, you got the duck.
logo duck for the Jeep
Hmm.
community. We do a lot of Jeeps. Um, so that's something we've just recently started. So that's been a big hit. Um, yeah, the guys love it. They like the colors. They like the logo. They love when I just handed out some new shirts a couple of weeks ago. We actually added a green flag to one of the
Hmm.
sleeves this go around. So American flag. They really enjoyed that. So yeah,
So
they
you
love it.
mentioned that you've had to do some hiring since then as you've grown. Do you feel like this has impacted your ability to recruit?
Yes, in a positive way.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Um, Definitely when someone pulls up in the parking lot, if they, from another area and not familiar with us, when they pull up, it's definitely like, oh, okay, um, especially if they pass by some of the places around before they
Yeah.
get here.
Yeah, it just gives you a level of professionalism that isn't always seen. So, looking back on it, if you had to do this over again, is there anything you would do differently?
I don't think so. Like I said, I spent a lot of time leading
Yeah.
up to it. A lot of nights laying in the bed, rolling, stuff rolling through my head, grabbing my phone, going to the notes app, taking some notes on it. Um, that's a that's the kind of thinker that I am. I do things in slow pace like
Yeah.
that. So methodical. So um, the only thing that I would say I would have done differently possibly would sooner. Probably would have
Yeah.
done it sooner.
So, when it comes to cost on something like this, we don't need to get into numbers because it's going to be completely different from one building to another and what all needs to be done and the size of the project and all of that. But as far as recouping your costs from the results that you feel like you got, how long do you think it probably took you to recuperate the costs that you put into this?
6 to 8
6 to
months.
8 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, just nothing but profit, additional profit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what advice would you give to someone who was thinking about doing this?
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Um, no, I mean, do you want to pull up somewhere that's not aesthetically pleasing and do business?
Yeah.
That's what it boiled down to in the end. Like, um, reputation goes a long ways. But to a new client that doesn't know your reputation, appearance goes further than that to me.
Yeah, I look at it like if you took your building as it is now and put your building as it was before right next to each other, two auto repair shops that, let's just say, absolutely nothing is different about them except for the aesthetics. The people who probably that you want as clients are coming to the new building all day long, and the ones who are broke are probably looking at the old building saying this one's probably more affordable. So yeah. Well, man, I mean it it seems like you've really created a shop that looks like a boutique kind of auto repair shop, right outside of Atlanta. What you did this. I know you're not the only one to to really go in and make a place look better, and especially just there's so many people that are really working on professionalizing the industry as a whole. I mean, how do you feel it says, or what do you feel it says about just the way the industry is going, the direction that it's heading?
Well, it takes a little bit of the old grease monkey thoughts away from the public.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, we work with electronics more these days than we do with, you know, internals of engines
Mm-hmm.
now. It's a lot more electronics. You've got to have somebody with the ability to understand what you can't see between modules. There's a certain level of just understanding how each module talks to each
Mm-hmm.
other, which the general public doesn't understand.
Yeah.
So just changing the image of the building helps to change the image of the industry altogether, and how it's conducted and how it's
Yeah.
run.
Well, you did a fantastic job with this. I mean, when I saw the magazine article originally, it made a big impact on me because I was like, wow, what a difference. And I knew when I saw that, that like this is marketing, and couldn't help but talk about it. So I really appreciate you uh, being on with me. I'm glad that I ran into to Gene at ASTA, and yeah, just grateful for you. Anything at all that you want to leave our listeners with?
No, just tell you thanks, and I'm glad you stopped Gene and talked to him. That was that was a full circle
Yeah,
moment for me, because here we are a couple states away. You're not a local person to our area, and you stopped him off of the
yeah,
logo. So that was a full circle moment for me. I'll be
awesome.
honest.
Well, to the listeners, again, you'll be able to see the pictures that we're talking about at shopmarketingpros.com/181. And this episode, it's on, like we do YouTube. You can watch the full version there on YouTube, and listen to it on any of your favorite listening devices. But I wanted to tell you about the new app that the Auto Repair Podcast Network has. You can download this app at the Auto Repair Podcast Network.com. And it is a fantastic app. I'm not just saying that because I'm part of the network. When Carm showed this thing to me the first time, I was blown away by how nice this app is, being able to build a list of your favorite episodes and go to one place to have access to all of these really great industry podcasts. So go check that out. Automotive Repair Podcast Network.com. Remember, we are just one of a handful of podcasts on the network. You can see all of them in the app or at automotiverepairpodcastnetwork.com. Thank you for listening to the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast on the Automotive Repair Podcast Network. Download our app at automotiverepairpodcastnetwork.com, or find it in the App Store or on Google Play by searching for Automotive Repair Podcast Network. Thank you again to our sponsors for making this podcast possible. And thank you to our listeners for listening in to this episode. We hope you'll join us again next week. And until then, go fill those bays.